SmartRace is now 10 years old, and actually version 7 is the 50th release since the beginning. And that's enough to say thank you. Thank you to everyone who supported the app, who used the app, who uses the app till today. I'm very thankful, and I want to thank you for all the feedback that you gave over the years. Actually, most of the things that I integrated into SmartRace and that I integrated into version 7 as well stems from your feedback. So thank you very much for this. For version 7, there was a beta phase of almost 2 months, and that was a long time, and I used it hopefully for the best. There were a lot of changes, smaller changes, bigger changes, and a lot of things that had to be tested thoroughly. And thank you for testing as well. There were a lot of beta users who voluntarily tested the app. Thank you. That's very valuable for me. Actually, a lot of things that have been implemented over the years stem from user feedback, as I said, and you can always see that in the changelog. If you look at the little gutter sign and the number behind that, that means that it's something that was posted by a user on support.smartrace.de, which is my bug reporting and idea collecting platform. You can just register over there and post ideas, post bugs, whatever you like. Yeah, in version 7 there have been some smaller changes, as you will see if you open the app for the first time. One of them is the settings dialog, which have been redesigned, so to say. I focused a bit on user experience optimization to make it easier to use the settings dialog because it's very crowded. There are a lot of settings which got added over the years, and it could be a bit confusing. So I hope with the changes, it's a bit better now. Also, and that's probably good news for especially American users, you can now change the virtual safety car to be displayed as full course yellow. Virtual safety car is basically something which is mostly known from Formula One, while other racing series, I think NASCAR as well, but other series as well, use full course yellow, which is basically the same thing. But yeah, you can now use it in SmartRace too. There's also a new result screen. I didn't do something on the result screen for quite some time, and I felt it was about time to make it a bit more modern, a bit more useful. So it will now display more things. It will display statistics as well. You don't have to go to the history module to see some statistics like leader changes and so on. And it will also display, for example, all the penalties that a driver collected throughout the race. There's also a new feature for, I would say, power users. If you have a large database of cars, for example, you can now use bulk editing, which means that you can select more than one entry and you can, for example, bulk set them to active or inactive or delete them. The main changes in version 7 are mostly about driving though. So the first thing that you notice is new is something called DRS, which translates to drag reduction system. This is something also known from Formula One, for example, where parts of the aerodynamics of the car will flatten, so you get a higher speed, which is something which is hard to do for slot cars actually, but SmartRace will at least try to simulate it. So for example, if two cars are close together and the leading car has a gap of like 1 second, although you can configure that, the car behind the following car will get a short speed boost. You can set up all sort of things regarding that, for example, how big the gap has to be or must be in order for the DRS to be activated, how long the speed boost should be, and also what kind of speed boost it should be, how much more speed the following car should get. Another thing that was changed is the damages feature. Maybe you remember if you're a bit older and have been a SmartRace user for quite some time. The damages add-on has been there pretty much from the start. It was there before the penalties add-on. Actually, it was meant as some sort of penalization for drivers who would crash more often. And it would basically work like this, that if you exceeded a certain lap time, then you would get a damage, which would mean that you had to go to the pits, repair the damage, and then you could continue your race. And if you wouldn't repair the damage, then you would automatically drop out of the race. But since we now have penalties and you can basically penalize drivers who crash more often using the penalties add-on, that was not so useful anymore. I made a survey about that and asking users about how I should change it. And I tried to implement what I understood was the most useful version of the damages module. And basically it works a bit like the fuel simulation that has been added some versions ago, meaning it is now lap times based, and you can basically configure a target lap time. And if you undercut this target lap time, the likeliness of damages will rise. There's a little damage bar in the race screen for each driver, and this bar will grow whenever you undercut the target lap time. Once the bar is full, you will get a damage that you need to repair. Your car will be slowed down. And if you go to the pits, repair the damage, then you can just continue driving. You can also reduce the likeliness of damages, meaning reduce the bar again by driving a bit slower. So if you did some push laps, for example, the likeliness of damages will increase. And if you slow it down a bit from there, then it will go down again. And last but not least, finishing with penalties was always a bit stupid, because if you would get a penalty and would finish the race still having the penalty, you would just be disqualified, which is not what happens in real life, of course. It required some ugly changes that I had to make, but I did them now, so you can basically now finish a race with a penalty, and all the positions will be recalculated according to the penalties that every driver had. My personal favorite in version 7 is everything around the race screen though. I made some changes to the race screen, some smaller design changes, but also, and that is something that I personally like a lot, I added the ability to customize your race screen even more. There's now an online design tool that you can use. You need to know CSS though to use it. CSS is some sort of styling language for the web, used for websites, also used for SmartRace. You can maybe use artificial intelligence to help you with that. But you can use this designer tool to create CSS to adapt your race screen, meaning especially the timing table, to all your needs, to your likings, as much as you wish. You can do basically everything with CSS. I would suggest to use web developer tools to find the different selectors of the timing table that you can use in CSS then. And then once you're happy with the result, you just copy the CSS into SmartRace, into your race screen, and it will be adapted to what you see in SmartRace. But that's not all, because you can now also share your race screen. If you go to the race screen menu in SmartRace and select Share Race Screen, you will be able to share your work, how you positioned your widgets, even the custom CSS with other people. It will be sent to me, I will approve it, and it will be pushed to an online race screen gallery. You can also see this gallery in the app, also on the SmartRace website. And so you can share your race screen with other people, but you can also download race screens that have been created by other people. And finally, there has been one more addition to SmartRace, which evolves around Mini Race Challenge. Mini Race Challenge is a little box which is capable of Bluetooth connections, and you can connect an antenna to it. And then you can collect lap times and laps of your little radio-controlled RC cars. Some people already use it, for example, for Carrera Hybrid, because it's pretty simple to use. You have this antenna and you have little RFID stickers that you can put on the bottom of each car. And every time a car passes the antenna, a lap is tracked. That's basically all. And now you can use it with SmartRace. Shout out to Paolo, who created Mini Race Challenge, by the way. It's a really nice piece of hardware. And you can buy it from miniracechallenge.com. Paolo's a really nice guy. Support him, buy the stuff. It's really well done. That's it for the moment, guys. There have been a lot of changes in addition to what I mentioned in this video. A lot of bug fixes as well. And as always, you can see all the changes in the changelog. I'll put the link in the description. I would love to hear your feedback in this video. If you could, it would be also very helpful if you subscribe to the channel. And also, if you find any bugs or have any issues with the app, please don't hesitate to drop an email, info@smartrace.de, or post it directly to support.smartrace.de. You can register there for free, post your ideas for the app, post bugs that you find. That's really helpful for me. Thanks for using SmartRace, and keep racing.